Hey guys, happy full moon. Really brief episode today because things in my life have been incredibly busy, but I did just want to jump in here real quick and tell you that you are doing a great job. Please be sure that you're paying attention to your body and your mind and all of the needs that are coming up. Are you getting plenty of rest? Are you getting plenty of space in your life? Are you making sure that you're eating nutritious food that are going to help build your body into what you want it to be? Are you making sure that your body gets plenty of movement? If you're interested, I have started doing yoga classes in the Patreon. Spring cleaning is a great thing that people are doing right now. I remember as within, so without. As above, so below. As within, so without. So your internal world is affected by your external world and vice versa. So if you feel out of control or out of sorts, look at your environment and all of the things that you have in it. How does the energy there? Is it dirty? Is it chaotic? Is it cluttered? You'd be amazed how cleaning your space and clearing your space, getting more space in your space, will help also clear up your mind and your emotional state and even your body. Okay, they feed off of one another. Remember, energy isn't concrete, it doesn't have concrete edges the way we perceive our physical plane and things to be. Like, the table, you can see where the table stops and your hand starts, but energetically they're intertwined. So if your energy is coming into contact with things that don't feel great, then that's exactly the type of energy you're going to absorb. So sometimes it's kind of hard to sift through all of our mental chaos, but it's easier to sift through our external chaos and then know that sifting through all of that and cleaning and clearing all of the external stuff does have a positive effect on also clearing and cleaning all of our mental and emotional chaos. Physical exercise, all of these traumas and emotional states get stuck in the body if we don't process them through. So instead of trying to figure out where to start with the mental and the emotional stuff, if we can exercise or stretch or something like that, create space in the body, get the energy in the body moving, it'll circulate those, it'll unstuck those emotions for us and unstuck that trauma and help it to get processed out. Just, drink plenty of water, practice your breathing, practice your releasing and relaxing of the tension and the tight muscles. Relax the shoulders, relax the jaw, find your posture. Good posture helps open up all of those energy channels within the body so that things can circulate through a little bit easier, a little bit better. There is not a thing that we should be worried about more than our health, okay? Our physical health, our mental health, they play into one another. So if you're, as a culture, as a society, we have a harder time wrapping our heads around the mental stuff and the emotional stuff and how to heal that. But just like we can, if you're depressed, and you can't just be happy, right? You can't just flip your switch and be happy. But if you're stressed out and anxious and depressed and all of these things, we can, just like I can choose to raise my hand, I can choose to sit up tall and straight, roll the shoulders back and down, create space in the neck, focus on my breathing, bring it low in the belly. There's all of these little mechanisms that we can do. We can stretch and open up those channels so that things can be processed out. The physical is a lot easier to work with a lot of times until you figure out the mental stuff, and then the mental stuff is easier for a while. It kind of, it's a balancing act of back and forth, honestly. Whereas the physical stuff requires energy to move, and that can be hard sometimes. The mental stuff requires you to just lay still and go inside and do it, but that can be emotional too. So pick your heart. But the full moon is focused on self-care. So whatever kind of self-care you want to do, want to focus on, That's what you should be doing. Making sure you have all of your needs met. Maslow's hierarchy of needs, if you're not familiar with that, is a great place to start. I love to equate the Maslow's hierarchy of needs with the chakra system so that we can kind of work on that and leveling ourselves up into the top tiers of both of those, which is ideally where we want to be. That's where we find that community connection, the oneness with all things, purpose and fulfillment, and all of those things that we're searching for to fill that void within our soul. But before we can get to those top tiers, we have to work on our basic needs first. The bottom of the pyramid, the bottom of the chakras, the Maslow's pyramid, it's all, good food, shelter, safety, security, health. There's nothing more important than focusing on our health. And the more attention you give to your health and wellness and well-being, the more those positive ripples will radiate out into every aspect of your life. So you'll find that working on your health and giving attention to your health and your self-care will inevitably radiate into your self-esteem and your confidence, which will radiate into your relationships. You'll be able to find more fun, more gratitude, more happiness in just the little things in life. We don't want to cut things out of our life we do want to cut things out of our life, but we don't want to focus on getting rid of as much as we want to focus on adding in that which is positive and helpful. And in the adding more, drink water, drink some lemon water, go for a walk, clip your toenails, paint them, take a shower, read a book, just one page. It doesn't have to be a whole commitment thing. Take a Epsom salt bath, meditate. The more you can add good practices, positive, helpful practices into your life, the more it will just naturally crowd out all of the things that are not positive. We want to simply turn our attention away from that which we don't like and put our attention towards, feed the energy that we do like, the energy that makes us feel good. If we only have X amount of energy to work with a day, if we only, equating this to food, if we only have 3 meals to work with for the day, then you want to give those 3 meals, you want to get as much vitamins and nutrients that you can, protein, like all of the things that are good for your body. If you can focus on getting as much good in there as possible, then there's none left for the bad. There's no space left for the bad, for the junk. That's why dieting doesn't really work, because we're too focused on the withdrawal from our energy is focused on, I can't have this, I shouldn't do that, I shouldn't eat that. That's still feeding what we don't want, because we're still focused on what we don't want. So taking that same concept and applying it to all of the things in our life, we want to spend all of our energy, all of our focus, all of our mental space on that which we do like. If you notice, awareness is always the first step. If you notice your mind focusing on what you don't like and mulling over what you're upset about, then you just take a breath and try to start flipping that momentum train into a better direction, however you possibly can. It's like, okay, I noticed that I'm focusing on this thing again. Okay, I need to stop doing that, so let's bring our awareness into our physical body. Let's notice our legs, let's notice our feet, let's drop our energy into the lower half of our body. Let's bring attention to our breath, our breathing, deep in the belly. Let's bring attention to our posture. Let's actively relax, scanning through the body, relaxing everything that we can find. Let's go for a walk. Let's take a nap. Anyway, let me know what you think. You're doing a great job. Any kind of trying is wonderful. You're doing fabulous, okay? Be patient with where you are today and know that slow and steady progress will get you to where you want to be later. Just naturally. It'll build on itself, okay? A little bit of effort goes a long, 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 long way. But take care of yourself. I love you so much. Let me know if you need anything. Namaste.